I'm pretty dumb, but I've still made over $1 million on YouTube. And today I'm going to explain how pretty much anyone with a room temperature IQ can do the same thing. Just to show some quick proof, here is some screenshots. We have one of my old bank statements from over a year ago to show that I have been doing this for a while. We have a wire transfer that I got for over $10,000. And here's a screenshot of just one of my YouTube channels where I got over 74 million views and made over $300,000 off of AdSense alone. Now, most people think they know how to make money on YouTube, but 99% of people get this wrong. The way to make money on YouTube used to be vlogging and lifestyle content. That was big back in 2016. Then we also had gaming and now streaming. Some people would do affiliate marketing channels or product reviews. And of course, we also have YouTube automation, which thanks to AI is really popular right now. As someone who's been doing YouTube full time for over 5 years, I can tell you that all of these methods are very difficult to do. I have a ton of friends in the industry, and I know plenty of big vloggers, streamers, gamers, affiliate guys, YouTube automation guys, YouTube shorts creators, any style of content that you can think of. I've either done it or I have friends who are currently doing it full time. And I can honestly say that all of these methods are extremely difficult to be successful at. They all take years of grinding. You have to build up very specific skill sets. You have to learn how to hire and train teams, and you have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on video production. Of course, you can be successful at any of these, but they're a lot harder and take way more time than most people will admit. If you have a passion for these things, then sure, go for it. But if you just want to make a lot of money and help out the people who watch you, then there are far better ways to do it. It hasn't fully caught on yet, but right now there's a huge trend of what I call niche authority channels. This is basically the equivalent of doing Facebook ads in 2010 or dropshipping in 2014 or crypto in 2017 or whatever trend you want to label it. Basically, these are just starting to become popular, but it's still early enough to where you can be very successful and still make a lot of money. Now, to give context, a niche authority channel is a content channel, ideally on YouTube, that's built around one specific topic where you publish free videos that are just meant to be informational, value-driven videos that help out the people who are watching. The goal is to become the trusted person in that niche by sharing solutions, documenting your own journey, and just teaching what you know or are currently learning. These are a few quick examples that I found, but there are a ton of other channels just like these. You can see that this guy makes videos on sales, this guy makes videos on fitness, and this girl makes videos on crypto. 3 very different niches, but they're all following the same framework. Now, it might not seem like it, but these channels are making tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, even with only getting a few hundred views per video. And this is something that pretty much anyone can do. So how do you make one, and how do you actually make money? Well, it really comes down to a simple 4-step process. First, you need to pick a niche, but you need to make sure that you get this part right. When a lot of people start out, they're posting videos about a variety of different things, but in order for this to work, you need to be very intentional about the content that you're making. So you're going to find one specific niche and you're going to stick with it. Now, when you're picking your niche, you need to make sure that the niche that you pick is something that you have real experience in. This can be fitness, dating, side hustles, travel, learning new skills. It can be almost any topic where you have some knowledge and you can help someone who's a few steps behind you. The key here is to be as specific as possible. If you made general fitness content, you probably could build an audience. But imagine if you made fitness content specifically for dudes who are over the age of 40. Well, then you would have a much stronger connection with your audience because you're speaking to a very specific person. You can always broaden your niche as you go, but when you first start out, it's best to be as narrow as possible, build up an audience within that niche, then you can always expand if you feel like you're hitting a ceiling. Also, you don't have to be the absolute best at something to make videos, you just need to be authentic. This is something a lot of people get caught up on because they don't feel like they're an expert at anything, but not being the best actually makes you more relatable in your content. What people don't realize is that to make good content that helps people, you don't need to be the best, you just need to be slightly better than the people that you're helping. An example I like to give is that you don't have to be a college professor in order to teach math to kids in elementary school. And the same logic applies to making content. This is what I help people with, so if you want personalized one-on-one help, click the link in the description and I have a full money back guarantee if it, for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. But either way, just remember that you need to find something that you have experience with, you need to get as specific as possible, and don't worry about being the absolute best at it. Now, moving on to step 2, we have making authority content. The content you post is going to be the engine behind your entire business. The goal here is to make videos giving away as much free value as possible to the people who are watching. So no gatekeeping information, no trying to keep certain nuggets to yourself. Just give away as much free value as possible. This means talking about the solutions to their problems, sharing your personal experiences, and providing any resources or information that might help out your audience. If you do these things consistently in your content, you are guaranteed to build authority in whatever space that you're in. People tend to overthink content, but as long as the information is good, the videos you make can actually be really simple. You don't need crazy production or fancy cameras. You can literally just sit down in your room and record a video just like this one. If you were to look up the examples that I showed earlier of these channels, wherever they went, if you were to look up examples from these channels, you would see that most of them are pretty low production. None of them have crazy editing, and all these people are still crushing it. I guarantee you, every single one of these people that are listed right here are making at least 30 to 50 grand per month. And these are very low production videos. I mean, they do have decent thumbnails, but the videos themselves aren't very high production at all. Now, this is what I see people get caught up on, and I feel like people make this into a bigger problem than it needs to be. Right now, low production content is actually doing really good on YouTube. This is great if you're just starting out because it means that you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on making videos, and you actually come across as more authentic when you just sit down and talk to a camera without having any fancy edits. In the past, those highly edited videos worked really well, and they definitely still can, but they aren't always necessary and they aren't always the best option. YouTube is really rewarding smaller channels right now, so as long as your content is helpful, that's all that really matters. And if you're having trouble figuring out exactly what content to make, I recommend downloading a browser extension called vidIQ and finding other channels similar to yours but in a different niche, and then simply remaking their video ideas that have already done well. A lot of people are opposed to stealing content ideas, but that's literally how all of human history has always worked, so I personally don't see a problem with it. One person thinks of an idea and another person takes it and makes it slightly different, and then someone takes that idea and then it goes on and on and on and on. The key here is to remake the idea tastefully and not just steal it word for word. Most of the time you'll find that people are okay with you taking their content idea as long as you make it different and you aren't just ripping it exactly. So just to give you an example of what this looks like, this guy did a video titled, "I wasted $50,000 on fake gurus so you don't have to." And as we can see, it got 19 times more views than his average upload. Then, 2 years later, a girl took the idea and changed it to, "I wasted my early 20s so you don't have to," and she got over 100 times more views than her average upload. It was the same idea, but done in two very different niches. This is one of the easiest ways to make content since you can see that the video has already done well and you just have to take it and repackage it into your own niche. Eventually, you'll learn how to come up with your own ideas, but in the beginning, this is definitely the best way to get started. Once you have your content figured out, then you can move on to step 3, which is creating a high ticket offer. A high ticket offer is what allows these small channels to make tens of thousands of dollars even while only getting a few hundred views. What you're going to do here is create some form of done with you consulting program where you help people in your niche with whatever problems that they might have. So if you're making videos on fitness, you could help people get into shape. Or if you were making videos on coding, you could help teach people how to get a high paying coding job. This is going to vary depending on what niche that you're in, but basically you're trying to find whatever the major problems are in your niche and create a one-on-one consulting offer where you help people with whatever those problems are. You can have a 1 month, a 3 month, a 6 month, or even a 1 year long program, but regardless of how you structure it, it needs to be high ticket. This means you need to be charging at least $3,000 to $5,000 for one-on-one coaching. That way, you only need 2 to 3 clients per month to make a significant amount of money. A lot of people might think that they can't charge that much, but I promise you, if you can find a big enough problem to solve for someone, then they will gladly pay you for your help. The truth is, most people probably won't pay $3,000 for one-on-one coaching, but we aren't targeting most people. We are targeting a very specific person who has a very specific problem that ideally we can help with. And that's the kind of person that will pay you $3,000 to $5,000. Not everyone is going to be able to afford your services, and that's perfectly okay. You're still going to give them a ton of free value in your videos, and consulting is just for the people who want to pay more for some one-on-one help. This is a much better model than trying to sell some low-ticket item to thousands of people because it requires far less work to make a large amount of money. Of course, you do want to make sure you're actually delivering value and helping people who pay for your services, and you also want to make sure that the offer is very easy to say yes to. So for my one-on-one coaching, I offer a full money-back guarantee. That way, it takes the risk off of the client. It makes it very, very easy for them to say yes. Now, you don't have to do that specifically for your offer, but you do want to find some way to make people comfortable or even excited to pay you for your consulting. Again, we are asking for a lot of money, so you want people to feel good about their decision. Now, after you have your offer built out, you're going to need to create a funnel. So essentially, your funnel is going to be the path that viewers take to eventually become a client. Typically, this means starting off by consuming some content. Then they're going to eventually click a link in your description that leads to a single page website. And on that website, you're going to have a video explaining what you do, your experience, and how you can help. Underneath that video, you're going to have a section where they can apply to work with you or book a call directly. After someone books, you're going to call them or have someone else call them for you to essentially do a quick qualification and just make sure that they're worth speaking to. That way, you're not getting on 30-minute or hour-long sales calls with people who were never going to buy in the first place. If the person is qualified, then you're going to hop on a sales call, close them, and then start working with them on your one-on-one consulting. I am simplifying this a bit, and there are a ton of different ways that you can structure this, but in a nutshell, that's how most of these funnels work. If you want help with any of these details, apply to work one-on-one with me in the link below. I have a full money-back guarantee, so I make it as risk-free as possible. Either way, I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.